What's your first impression of the game? How it went? What you thought?
It was about what I expected. I mixed and matched a lot of personnel. There wasn't a lot of continuity out there, and I thought it was a good game to watch. Hopefully the fans enjoyed it, and the players enjoyed it, and there were some good things, and obviously we were very, very basic. We didn't. Obviously, we huddled the whole game. We did a lot of things that, just to be really basic. And we were pretty basic on both sides of the football, and we're running guys in and out. And, but I thought, that's how we chose to play the game. But I tell you, most important thing is no one got seriously hurt, which is always a plus. And in the end, I thought we had a good spring. I thought we did a lot of things for the spring ball as a whole that made us a better football team, and it really sets us up for the next step, which leads us into kind of set us up for the summertime.
Coach, where do you think you made the most improvement this spring?
I don't know where we made the most. So obviously, we installed a new offense, and I feel really good about where we are in that process right now. So that was an obvious priority that we had, and I think we've gotten better technique-wise. I think, and I think that we've had a lot of young guys get a lot of reps. We found out a lot about some guys, and some guys I think that will help us, some guys that need to improve, and I'd like to think we're a deeper football team coming out of the spring than we were going in.
Well, how do you think you'll be on offense next year? Is your defense going to have to carry them for a while?
No, I think we're going to be very good offensively. I think we're going to be a pretty balanced football team.
You mentioned the young guys, two in particular that really played well today. Can you maybe just talk about Breon Barnes' game, the way he played today?
Well, I thought Breon, kind of through the whole spring, he did some good things. He shows flashes. He has a lot of ability, but he's still swimming in a little bit. And even as basic as we were today, there are a lot of things that he needs to improve upon and could get better at. But you see signs that he's going to be a good football player in time. And I think he's had a pretty good spring.
What kind of just Jamal Turner and just his playmaking ability and getting him out on the field in open space?
Jamal Turner has a lot of ability, and he's going to be a good player for us. And he brings a really good element. I think you see a lot of those young wide receivers that we were very basic in our passing game and what we were trying to, and what we showed and what we put out there today. But I thought he did good. I thought him and through the spring, Jamal. We all know what we got in BK, and he's gotten better. Kenny Bell's going to be a good football player. Stanley, Quincy, Timmy Marlowe. We had some guys who did a lot of good things through the spring. I don't know if I missed anybody, but we have some playmakers at the wide receiver position.
From the time you decided to put Jamal at spring break there, when you decided to put Jamal out there, have you kind of gotten what you thought you guys would get from him there?
Yeah, and I think he's got a long way to go. And but he has that element that he can make plays. The guy's pretty special with the ball in his hands, and he showed that. But he's got a long way to go. He's just scratching the surface of how to play the position, but he can make some plays with the ball in his hands. We saw that. That's why we recruited him. He's a pretty special athlete.
What was the nature of his injury when he came off there?
He just had a little bit of an ankle sprain. He could have went back in, but we just. We'd seen enough of him, and it was time to call it a day.
Martinez and Green combined to just complete 8 of 23 passes today. Does that concern you, or is that a function of something that maybe we didn't see?
Well, I thought there were some drops, especially early in the game, but I'm not concerned about that. I could care less about the statistics in a spring game. That's not an issue.
What type of steps did Eric Martin take this spring at defensive end?
I think Eric Martin's gotten better. He's a good football player, and he's gotten better, and we're doing some things with him that we didn't necessarily do today that I think really play to his strengths and is going to make him a guy that's going to be a force to be reckoned with on our defense. I'm excited about what he's shown this spring.
lot of points today, but when the first units were out there on defense, I mean, what did you see from those guys early in the game?
You know, we never really had any, I guess we had first units out there, but we've had a number of guys missing and those types of things. And, we had some things that, you got to identify what happened, and, I'd have to look at the film, but I saw some good things. I think it was a pretty low-scoring game early, and then there's some field position things and all that. Defensively, we're going to be a good football team defensively. There's no question in my mind.
What kind of running game do you think you'll have next year?
I think we're going to have an outstanding running game next year.
Are you going to be reliant on those true freshmen after Rex?
Well, we'll see. And I think that, we'd like to say, I think that some of those true freshmen are going to be, we recruited those guys because we think that they're, they got some ability and they're going to be players. And I'm hoping that, a couple of them, if not all of them, will be ready to step up and help this football team. And, I don't ever look at, really recruit somebody thinking I'm going to redshirt them. And we'll find, sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see how it goes. But I know those guys have the ability to help our football team next year.
You mentioned Breon is still swimming in a bit. Is he to a point where he can push the guys who are older than him yet? Or?
Oh, absolutely. He's got some. He's a talented young man, and the lights. It's flickering. Just got to stay on. I can say that about a lot of the young guys, though.
Cody Spano, I guess, got injured last week. What's his situation?
Cody, he had a pretty significant injury, and we'll see. But nothing's been determined for sure right now. I just feel for the. He's been through some tough times, and tremendous young man who. He's going to be a part of the program one way or the other.
Different than the ACL tears, though?
Oh, yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with the knees.
Was it a shoulder injury on him?
Yeah.
Is the light still flickered for Turner, too, to that same extent?
Yeah, I think, it's easy to look at and make some plays. There's a lot to learn. And it's easy to see him make a couple plays and say, well, this guy's going to be, this guy's going to be the next Jerry Rice, he's got, you see a lot of good things, you see a lot of things that need to get fixed. He needs to, his attention to detail needs to pick up. But that's to be expected, and you can say that across the board. Guys who have been in the program for 2-3 years. So, he's a guy who's on the come, and which is, to me, is a very a very positive thing, because he has a lot ahead of him where he can get a lot better.
Brett Maher had a pretty good day, I guess. Could you speak about how he's come along with the kicking game, replacing Alex, and also what kind of happened on that, where he kicked twice, I guess, at the end?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Cassidy and Maher decided, because they had red jerseys on, they were going to sabotage the game, and I don't think he did himself any favors for when he did try to kick it. I don't even know if Cassidy actually tried to hold it the right way for him. So they were getting a lot of barking over there from their sidelines. So I don't know. I call foul on that one, but we'll see. I'll have to look at the film on that. But Brett Maher has come a long way. I feel like the kicking game, I really feel good about how far he's come, both as a punter and a kicker. And we got a young man coming in that is going to help us in the kicking game, and I feel really good about where we are.
Offensively, you said you kept it pretty basic. We saw a little bit of pistol. I don't know if that's what you guys call it. Resembling the pistol offense. We saw some two-backs in the gun. We saw a little bit of straight-up running more than the zone read kind of stuff that we saw last year. I guess how much more is there to really install and go from there on the offense there? We'll see.
See it come September.
Is it? How much did you guys really want to get in by the end of spring out of all?
We got everything we wanted to get in by the end of spring, and there's still a little bit more to come, but I feel really good about what we're doing offensively. Leave it at that.
Assess the progress of the offensive line for the spring?
Come a long way. Got a ways to go yet, though.
Well, standing here right now, just kind of tell us your perspective of the fall. How do you think this team looks heading into August?
Heading into August, I like our football team.
Well, you plan on moving Turner back ever, or do you foresee him moving back at any point?
Well, I don't know, I have a crystal ball, but obviously not. I wouldn't put him there if I foreseen him moving back.
Anything else, guys? But what was the sideline penalty? Was it just a product of the game with all the substitutions, the sideline penalties that the red team got? Oh, there was a couple of them today.
I mean,
Or was it just substitution, too many guys on the field?
a couple of those I called from my sideline to push them back a little bit, but, we've come a ways as far as, we've come a long ways is with that regard. So I think we've made some progress as far as fixing the penalties and but to me, one's too many.